Should we do something to make it fair for John? Because John is like $100 less than we have.
Yes, we should take $100 away from him.
Take another 100 away from him.
Give it to us equally.
So he'd have like
And then,
30.
yeah,
I
that's
was
fair.
wondering if we should do like Bowser Revolution and we just add up the money we have and split it evenly 3 ways.
Oh, let me think about that real quick.
Is that a no?
Oh, I like that idea. He tried to screw me over with the Deadpool. Let's
That
flip
is
it.
true. That is karma. That is karma.
If I had spent all that money on Deadpool and you went up to John and were like, I feel like we should split it 3 ways.
See,
How
John is
quickly?
difficult because I feel like John has a demeanor to him that suggests that he's all about fair play, but then he does some underhanded shit like that, you know?
That's what I'm saying. If you asked him, like, should I split it so that we all have equal money? He would have been like, no, he knew what he was getting into by bidding for Deadpool. So, like, well, that's the game. That's the game.
That's true. That's true. I suppose John should be the victim of his karma.
I don't make the rules.
He tried to do something underhanded to you and it came back and bit him in the ass.
Exactly. You know, if he doesn't like it, to play the game better.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, sorry if that sounds harsh, but, you know, that's part of the game.
Part of the game. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Smart Adventures. My name is Corey. With me is Dylan.
Uh-oh.
I thought it'd be a fun open. We were just discussing like whether or not John deserves a shot at redemption, but I suppose he does not.
That's going to make it sound like I was throwing John under the bus. And let me clarify, I definitely was.
So, Dylan, welcome to the show. As you can tell from the fact that we did throw John under the bus, he's not here to defend himself.
Yeah.
He is away doing things.
Crimes.
He's in my part of the world, isn't he?
I think he's coming home soon.
Ah. Well, that's if we let him go back.
Yeah, they might have deported him.
Was he here for the World Cup?
Yeah.
Wow, that's depressing. I'm sorry to hear that for him.
Well, you know, other people travel to your horrible country as well, so.
That's what I'm saying. I feel bad. Some people weren't even allowed in. Some people that were part of the World Cup weren't allowed in.
Yeah, you guys should maybe, like, do something about your country.
We got another, 2 years to try to figure something out, I suppose.
Not unless he dies.
Well, if he does, then we just hand it over to JD Vance, and I don't know if that's anything better for you or not.
I think probably, yeah, because at least Trump has, like, the allure, the illusion of like charisma, whereas JD Vance doesn't. So you're like, oh, this isn't gonna last.
No, that is a man who has somehow failed upwards. It's kind of like, to be truly, I think that is kind of the American dream, to somehow fail upwards.
Do you think the American dream is to be JD Vance?
I think like there's something to be said about being a mediocre author that somehow became a senator and the vice president of the United States within like a handful of years.
And he fucked a sofa.
And he fucked a sofa.
Yeah. So he's got everything going.
Do you think he put a condom on?
No, I think he intentionally tried to get that sofa pregnant.
I just feel like the carpet burn on the sides of the shaft to be rough.
And what kind of sofa it was.
That's also very true. We should stop talking about this. I don't know what we're talking about though, Dylan, because you said that this was going to be something you were going to spring on me.
Yeah. What is fun about this? So I like the ones where like it's quite off the cuff and we're just kind of, you know, it's all a surprise. But it also means that you would have had no time to prepare for whatever this episode is.
Okay.
So there's a really good chance that what I'm about to spring on you is just not good content.
All right.
Okay.
Sure.
Like a pretty high chance where you're like, this is gonna last us the guts of 10 minutes. But you know, we could just do a 10-minute episode and then
Call it a day.
just kind of vamp for 50 minutes.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, like I said, it's usually like we call them relaxed fits, but that's what they are. It's just vamping. There's no. I'm usually on like bleeding cool and like, what the fuck is going on that I could talk about?
I think we're pretty good at vamping. You know, I don't want to brag, but I think we're pretty good at like filling time.
Yeah.
You know,
So
I think we're pretty good.
So what are we doing?
Okay, Corey, I have a question for you.
Okay.
I would like you to answer that question in some manner, because that is the show, I suppose.
Okay.
Um, you could just nod if you wanted to, but then there'll be like 50 minutes of silence, and I
Sure.
don't know if the people want to hear that. Although it'd be really easy to edit that. Wow, biggest podcast yet. I wanted to know, Corey, in regards to comic books, this is what we talk about a lot on this show.
Yeah.
What are your favorite alligator slash crocodile characters?
Alligator slash crocodile characters.
Yes.
Ah,
No,
okay.
I was trying to be like quite specific about alligators, but if you want to, we can have a little bit of leeway in there. For example, lizard from
Lizard
Spider-Man.
seems
He's a lizard. He's
he's
not really a crocodile, is he?
yeah,
He's
it's
not.
adjacent.
He's a lizard. He's not really a lizard because appearance-wise, he's closer to a crocodile
Yeah.
or alligator. The argument is there for the lizard, you know. So I think, listen, we might get no views on this, fair enough. But I also think that this is an area of comics nobody talks about.
So, are we talking about sort of just like reptilian characters in a sense?
Exactly, that kind of deal. But like, you can judge that however you want
Okay.
in terms of like. So obviously, like the lizard is a reptile, a lizard. He's quite scaly, got the jaws and shit.
Sure.
It looks like a crocodile. You know what I mean? So how far do you want to take that? That's up to you. But I just thought, let's just talk about crocodiles and alligators
Okay.
today.
Sure.
Why
So obviously the first one that comes to mind as a DC Comics guy is Killer Croc from
I thought you
the Batman world.
for sure.
Waylon Jones is his birth name.
Yeah.
And originally he was just a guy with a skin condition that made it look like he had scales. And Killer Croc was like his freak show carny name. But then
Yeah.
like as time went on, they kind of so like you know how like Beast kind of they change his appearance and sometimes they
Yeah.
give it an explanation and sometimes they don't. They just like this guy's just gonna draw Beast looking like an ape for some reason, despite him being a lion.
The monkey one I didn't get because like the beast going from beast to lion is like he's getting sleeker and stuff. You can see that, and then he just became a monkey. Like, how did that one come about? Monkey fit into this.
Yeah.
The lion was cool. I wish people had drawn him as a lion more. I really like Beast Lion.
Quietly did
And
a
then
good job with that lion art.
then they made him crazy. I'm like, guys, this
Well,
is not
then they were
ironic.
like, let's just bring back a clone of him that hasn't advanced past the mid 90s. And people are like, I'm fine with this.
Right, again, then they're missing out the lion.
Yeah. Well, but then you have White Beast, who's the evil beast.
This is like lion erasure, which I don't like.
Yeah.
We could do lions as well, but we'll
Are
do
we just going to
crocodile.
talk about like a million or amylian creatures?
Chameleon. Did you make that up?
I don't think so. I'm not sure.
Doesn't sound like a real
I don't think it
word.
sounds like a real word either, but I feel like I've heard it somewhere, but maybe it's just in my own head. But yeah, so
Maybe
like so going back to Killer Croc, for some reason, like at one point, they gave him like they just made him more croc-like. They gave him a snout and they gave him a tail, and then they did away with the tail and the snout, and then he was just a big guy covered in scales again, with like big mouth. Then they made him a cannibal for a while, and I'm trying to think like what was the last time I saw Killer Croc in something. I remember in the Suicide Squad comic in the Rebirth era, they paired him up with Enchantress and they had like a little love story where he wasn't in love with Enchantress, he was in love with Dr. June Moon. So whenever June Moon wasn't the Enchantress and she went back to her like other personality and not the evil witch that possessed her body, they were like a couple.
okay.
So that they did that for a while, and I think he got married to Killer Whale or Orca. So like
Killer Croc and Marty Killer Whale.
yeah, because she's like a woman that got turned into a killer whale monster woman.
Mm-hmm.
So
She have legs,
she has legs. I think she
like
has a tail. She's got breasts as well, which I think is really funny. Whenever
just like a real.
just like a real killer whale, because
Yep.
because everything has breasts. It's not like it's a mammal specific thing or not.
How do you know if it's a woman or not unless it's got titties?
If I'm not mistaken, I remember watching this on a reality show in the late 90s. To judge the gender of an alligator or a crocodile, you have to insert your finger into their rectum because you can feel for their genitals in there as well. There's like a hole on their underside that is sort of like a rectum that you can feel their genitals through if you put your finger in there.
Sort of like a rectum.
Sort of like, I mean, it's a hole, like what's
There is a hole that human beings have decided to insert things into, and
yeah.
they thought, fine.
Yeah, why
Or
not? Yeah. Because I
the
just remember it
crocodile.
was like some weird bayou guy teaching these people, and he was like, "All right," and he like licked his fingers before he did it. And I thought like, "Oh, I should be seeing this."
Have you know who Lana Del Ray is?
Well, yeah, I know who Lana Del Rey is.
You know she got married to, like, some swamp guy?
I heard about that. Yeah, pop star
Yeah,
married just like a regular weirdo.
this fucking swamp guy, and there's a video of him, like, 'cause we were like, "Why would maybe he's just really handsome." And then you see him, he's, like, just a swamp guy, right? So, not what you would call, you know, no offense to swamp guys out there, not super handsome. And then you're like, "Well, maybe he's got other qualities." And then you hear him talk because he's, like, talking about little baby, alligators. And I'll have to find the video, it's so funny. His voice, also not attractive, and the way he says talking about the baby alligators, and he goes, "Oh, you got these, baby gators?" I'm like, "You're a grown ass man." He's married to Lana Del Ray.
Hey, man, love is blind sometimes. Is all I can say.
You call them gators?
Yeah,
Come on,
love is
dude.
blind. Love is blind.
Jesus
Uh,
fucking Christ. Well, think about it, man. In like 2 albums' time, we're gonna be hearing an awful lot of breakup songs about that fucking killer guy.
he left her though.
Yeah, for like a fucking killer whale with tits.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh.
Going back to Killer Croc, did you ever see the absolute design for Killer Croc? Like, I'm not
I
sure
think
how in tune you are with the absolute universe. I'm not a big fan of it for the most part. I've been reading Absolute Green Arrow because he's been killing like pedophilic billionaires, and that's kind of fun to watch.
yeah.
But yeah, Absolute Killer Croc is a design choice because he's got like the Killer Croc body where it's all long, but his face and head is at the front of the snout, and the rest of his mouth goes like halfway down his body. It's the most peculiar looking thing I've ever seen.
I think you showed us pictures of that, didn't you?
I showed you pictures of Absolute Bane because Absolute
Yeah.
Bane is like 12 feet fucking tall, and
Yeah.
Absolute Robins, and they're like mech. They drive like mech suits.
Yeah. Those are cool.
Yeah, but yeah, the
Yeah.
Absolute Universe character designs are fucking something else, and I feel like they're gonna fuck that up quick
Oh yeah.
because they already announced they're doing an Absolute Batman animated series or something, and I'm like, ugh. Let's let
Delicious.
this cook a little bit longer before we start doing stuff. I know it's successful, but
No,
we're
let's like fuck it up as soon as we can.
yeah. When you start to do too much with stuff out the gate, I feel like it's a problem.
Let's
But
give
so
it
okay,
a
so
go.
we got our giant monster alligator killer croc. He's sometimes a cannibal, sometimes not. Sometimes he has a tail and a snout, sometimes not.
Mhm.
Um, he's well enough. They seem to want to make him a bit of an anti-hero sometimes to make him sympathetic, which I guess I can see. I know that in
Yeah.
Arkham Asylum, his boss battle was probably the most stressful one I've ever been in my life.
hmm Do you think it's a good idea to make a cannibal crocodile anti-hero?
I think that there's a period of time where like people who like make a Suicide Squad comic get tempted to view them as anti-heroes, and I feel like
Yeah.
when you do that, you fuck it up because like that's not the point. Like the point is that they're bad people who do good things because they're forced to.
Yes.
Like
Well, it's like when they made Venom an anti-hero because like Venom spent his entire life beating the shit out of Peter Parker and threatening to eat people's brains
yeah.
and being like a really like horrible, vicious
Oh,
character. But then they're like, "Oh, but he's got a sense of justice, and so he's an anti-hero." I'm like,
Lethal
"Fuck off."
Protector.
Yeah,
No, I
shut the
actually
fuck
saw
up.
something recently. I think it was in this like the most recent issue of Venom. Mary Jane confronted the Venom symbiote about like the bullshit it did to her. Like, you attacked me disguised as Peter. Like, what the fuck? You know, like, why do I need to like have complete 100% trust in you? And like, I think the Venom symbiote revealed it's still in love with Eddie. So it's sort of like, I don't know, they kind of, I felt that was a little much to to give
Right.
the symbiote feelings as if it has a sense of love and like romantic love.
It's a fucking symbiote.
It's goo, man.
It's a it's a fucking parasite.
I was fine with it being goo with like an emotion tied to it. Like, if you weren't careful, that emotion would like overhaul your emotion.
Right, because the emotion was violence. That's why Spider-Man got rid of it because it made him like,
Yeah, it made him angry all the time.
yeah, and that's why it fit Eddie Brock perfectly because Eddie Brock was such a fucking bitter, twisted, horrible person.
Yeah,
And when they got together with Venom, it's like, well, why would we go anywhere else? This is a perfect team.
yeah.
They
Well, once
complemented each other perfectly.
once again, we find ourselves talking about Venom. But yeah, so like, so let's go back to our giant animal monster men.
Yeah.
So we Killer Croc, that's a
Yep.
big one for me. I can't
Yep.
think off the top of my head, aside from Kurt Connors the lizard, any other big lizard guys that also aren't like, because I always think of like the Serpent Society, but they don't really look like
Yep.
snakes for the most part.
That doesn't count.
Copperhead from DC is somewhat there, but it depends on
Mhm.
what design you're looking at. Like, if you're looking at the Arkham Knight version and it's that like the sexy like body contortionist woman, that's not really, she doesn't really look like a snake person. She has like snake eyes, but you know, not.
Sexy body contortionist person.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
What you're
If
into?
yeah, yeah, if you, I mean, you know,
You can bend over backwards.
she like wraps around you like a snake.
Yeah, that's hot. That's super
Yeah,
hot. Just to kiss her spine.
yeah,
It's 20 feet long.
yeah. But she doesn't really look like a monster. She's just a contortionist. Um,
Well, I will say this about Kurt Connors, and I'm sure we'll probably do like a bigger episode about Kurt Connors because I quite like it whenever we just do random ones about strange.
well, I was gonna say, like, you kind of have a series of talking about Spider-Man villains.
We'll probably do the Lizard at some point because he's a very popular character. But when the Lizard started, he in a similar vein to Killer Crocodile, to give him his full title. Um, he also had no snout. His face was, it was scaly, but it was
Yeah,
flat. He didn't have a snout, and a lot of the later depictions of the lizard did show him with the snout, and he looked more like a kind of crocodile character, which I really like. I think that's a better design. I think it's really creepy to see just a man with like a regular face, but also just covered in scales.
yeah,
You know what I mean? It's just quite unsettling.
yeah. Like
I
I
don't like.
said, I mean, Killer Croc was a was like a birth defect essentially.
Yeah, it doesn't look right.
Yeah,
If he's gonna be a crocodile, give him the croco snout. You
yeah.
know.
So like, so the DC equivalent of the Kurt Connors is Kirk Langstrom, who's Manbat, and it's sort
Right.
of the same deal of like mad scientist guy experiments on himself, turns into a giant monster as a result of it.
We've
But
all
he's
been
just a
there.
big bat.
Yeah, which is a novelty in the DC universe.
Not a lot of giant monster men for the most part. I'm trying to
Not
think
a
of
lot of,
other ones, but
you know,
Parasite.
uh,
Parasite's not really an animal.
it's a parasite.
King Shark. King Shark. I mean, that's a good one.
King shark.
Yeah, he's a giant shark.
He's
A shark. He's the descendant of a shark god,
okay.
and he's just a giant shark. He was introduced in the '90s Superboy comic, and then he got it put into the limelight a little bit with the James Gunn Suicide Squad movie,
Yeah.
to the point that he got featured pretty regularly in the Suicide Squad comic at the time. And I think now he's a part of like Aquaman's kingdom in his Emperor Aquaman comic at the moment, where he's sort of accompanying Aquaman to these alien planets.
Okay. But he's
Yeah,
a shark.
he's a shark.
How does he get to the planet?
Well, so like the planets are, so they're all connected through, because in Aquaman there's a very long history of sorcery and magic. So like there are these things they call them lighthouses that magically connect all of these aquatic worlds together. And so they're kind of going through magic like portals.
Uh,
I mean, Aquaman is sort of the closest thing to a sword and sorcery comic right now at DC. So like, it's a king, it's a queen, there are knights, they fight giant monsters with like martial weapons like tridents and stuff. It's a sword and sorcery book.
it sounds like bullshit.
Well, you don't like magic stuff for the most part.
No, but I also don't like Aquaman.
That's
So
true. But you liked his water hand pretty well.
yeah, and they got rid of it because they're fucking cowards.
They got rid of it because he got turned into a giant underwater monster, and then he died. And then when they resurrected him in Brightest Day, they resurrected a younger version of him.
Does not sound like a satisfactory explanation to me.
No, I see. I was a big fan of the harpoon hand myself. I thought that was pretty cool.
No, Magic Hand was cool. No. Um. Okay, I want to throw an EMI to you.
Go for it.
I'll be honest with you. This might just be the end of the the end of the list of
I mean,
Crocodile.
I'm thinking about it. Marvel's got a ton of animal themed villains and stuff.
Oh,
So
well, yes, it does. Of course. I mean, Spider-Man's villains are like,
alone, Spider-Man alone's got it like a market cornered.
yeah, it's just like all animals all the time. But I want to throw you a curveball
Okay.
because I'm going to throw a character at you that is from neither Marvel nor DC,
Oh.
as far as I'm aware.
Okay.
You know who Leatherhead is?
Yo, from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about that for a surprise appearance?
Well, I mean, if we're gonna talk, I mean, if we're gonna include the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, that opens up the field because most of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle characters are animal people that were transformed by ooze,
But
right?
we're talking about crocodiles.
Specifically. Now, here's the thing: my knowledge of Leatherhead does not extend much further than I think he's like from the Bayou, and I
Yes.
remembered the toy. I don't
Okay.
know anything else.
Get a toy?
Yeah, there's a Leatherhead toy.
Fucking Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah,
The most
90s. In the 90s, man, they made tons of toys.
Yeah, they made a lot of toys about that particular franchise. It was pretty popular, as I recall. Ninja Turtles.
Oh, they have
Uh,
several of them, it looks like.
you look it up. Well, hang on. Are you looking up Leatherhead or are you looking up toys of Leatherhead?
I'm looking up Leatherhead.
'Cause this could be our only chance, I would imagine, to actually talk about Leatherhead. Oh, I don't like that.
Let me
I
turn
don't
the.
like-
Does that help? Yeah, that improves a little bit. So that's what his toy looked like from the 90s.
Yeah.
He has a pump shotgun and a bear trap.
What else do you need? How would you kill Ninja Turtles? Shoot them.
With a bear trap and a pump shotgun.
I think that's pretty fair enough. You know what I mean? That's how I would get rid of some Ninja Turtles. They're in my backyard.
This is a more up to date Leatherhead, by the way. He has a fucking he has a
Yeah.
fucking missile launcher.
Yeah, rocket launcher and some snazzy jeans.
Yeah, he's got some jeans on. Got some
I
Carhartts.
he's real pimp.
He's got like
Man.
hiking boots on too. Look at that.
Yeah.
How does he get those to fit?
Oh yeah, where does he get shoes that fit
And
his crocodile?
he's wearing lobsters on his belt.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying, dude. I think this is a very underrated character.
Uh,
When else are we going to talk about Leatherhead? I can't imagine us doing a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles episode.
well, do you want to see Leatherhead from the that most recent Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie that had like a bunch of kids voice acting?
Okay.
Look what they did to your boy. Look what they did to him. He's wearing night vision goggles.
Why?
Look how small his feet are.
That is not as cool as the other one.
Not at
That
all.
looks perfect. That looks like a fucking parody. That looks like a children's drawing of what somebody described Leatherhead to them. And they drew that. That is ridiculous.
That's rough. That is rough right there.
If you're listening to this on Spotify, go to the YouTube clip right now.
Just to look at the Leatherhead toys.
Fuck me, dude. That is a terrible design. You just showed me 2 designs of the same character.
I showed you 3 designs of the same character.
What? one of them where you were like, "That's fucking cool," and the other one was like, "Jesus Christ." That
Yeah.
is the exact opposite.
That is what the world of Teenage Ninja Turtles is like. That is for sure. Depending on
Boy,
the year and who has the rights to make the stuff, it's either going to be kind of cool looking or it's going to be the dopiest looking thing ever.
that was some real dope right there. But not a cool kind of dope. Like, oh yo, that skateboard chick was dope.
I only
Like
know one person who unironically says something is dope if they think it's cool.
to me.
Really? All right, I know two people. Because every time she would say it, I'd be like, all right. She's like, man, that's
Yeah,
dope. And I went,
yeah,
okay.
sick as fuck, dude. Who is? Do I know him?
You know him. I'm not going to say names, though.
Okay, cool. That's fair enough. Well, yeah, I do that too. That's because I'm a skater kid from the 90s.
Hell yeah, brother.
So fair enough. I really like the second design that we saw of Leatherhead looked cool as hell. So he's just a big crocodile character,
Yeah,
really.
just a big crocodile guy.
But like,
The thing that's pretty common with him, because even the dopey looking one, he had a pump shotgun and bear traps. So the trapper character is very consistent, at least amongst all three versions.
the last one didn't seem to have
Oh, he
anything
did. I
going.
just didn't zoom. I just didn't pan over to him.
Oh, he still had a bear trap.
He still had a bear trap and a pump shotgun.
Interesting. Oh, there's a lot of bears in the swamp.
Not historically.
What the fuck?
Not historically. Usually more known for mountainous areas. Bears.
Who's he trapping? What the fuck?
I thought the lobsters were appropriate on the second one.
Imagine using the bear trap to catch lobsters. Inefficient.
No, wow, you
Ineff-
fucking you ruin them. You didn't even get to bring them home to boil them.
exactly. Snap them in half. What a waste. You know. But if he's a crocodile, would he take them home to boil them, or would he just eat them?
Ah, it's a very good point. It depends on because he's mutated and evolved. Did he evolve to wanting the human palate of like food tastes better if it's cooked?
Do alligators eat lobsters?
I don't think they do.
No, I
Again,
don't think they do.
again, I don't think lobsters are typically in the
It is-
swamp
it's
either.
dumb. I think are they crayfish?
Crayfish, absolutely,
Yeah,
or
but they were really
crawdaddies, if you will.
crawdaddy. They were really big though.
Yeah, no, those were lobsters. Those were not crawdads.
100% were lobsters.
Those were not crawdads. Those were lobsters.
Oh
I came
boy.
really close to trying to find more cartoons for us to watch because we've not done a Let's Watch in a long time ever.
Yeah.
But the last one was so fucking disastrous because I think it was like we watched like Toxic Avenger and stuff, and it was just real rough.
Yes, I remember Toxic Avenger because of the fucking bug guy.
No, that was Swamp Thing.
Oh, the Toxic Avenger, was that the one I fell asleep in?
Yeah, you were asleep for that one. That was the one that we'd ended the show, and then 45 minutes later, you started to end the show, and I went, Dylan, we've been off the air for a hot minute, brother. Like I said, that was the Battletoads episode where you came in drunk, so I was like, all right.
It's right off the bat, man.
Yeah,
You
you had to be prepped properly to be talking about Battletoads.
Yeah, I was not prepared for anything. I probably shouldn't have done it,
Nah,
to
well,
be fair.
I don't know.
But
I thought it was fun.
it's a piece of history now.
Piece of history. Piece of piss.
I mean, yeah, well, that it certainly was. Um, yeah, maybe. Well, also like the watch along ones are tough because nobody really watches along with them.
They
Which
do make
is,
for really fun, chaotic listens, though.
I hope so because they're fun to do. Um,
Like
but
when we did the two Spider-Man episodes the two Spider-Man episodes back to back, where we watched 2 episodes of Japanese Spider-Man sober, and then we did 2 episodes of Japanese Spider-Man like drinking. That was a good time.
I got very sick.
You were sick? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Not physically, but like
Oh, I know John. I know John's like I have to work tomorrow, and this was a bad idea.
Yeah. I mean, was a terrible idea in theory, but well, no, in practice, I suppose,
And
because in theory,
execution as well.
yeah. But like, on paper, great idea. And I think more people should watch that drinking games Japanese Spider-Man, and do it themselves.
Yep.
Play it with your friends and your alcohol, and
Yep.
you'll see how much we had like 20 different things.
Dude, we had a lot of
So
rules. We had a lot of rules, so it made it very quick.
well, yeah, there were 20 different things to like look out for this every time he
Yeah.
does this, drink,
Every
and
time
then
every time he does a weird little run,
or he does like
climbs
like
the same
he
building.
well he jumps up and then like webs and then net falls over like four people. That happened. It was something to do with the robot at the end. I don't remember what it was, but
Yeah,
it could
yeah.
happen. So it's
The
like,
giant jaguar robot that was somehow related to spiders for some reason.
well,
Anyway,
like publish. You don't need to make that make sense, you know.
yeah, absolutely. So, speaking of Spider-Man and going back to our topic of animal-based characters,
Yeah,
um, there's obviously Rhino, but he's not really a Rhino guy. He's a guy stuck in a Rhino suit.
yeah,
Now, is that origin still there? Because remember, I was reading at one point he couldn't get the suit off, and he was just trapped
yeah,
inside of it. That's still the
yes.
case.
I don't know because the thing is, they brought that up as if that would be like a major plot point for that character,
Yeah,
but it doesn't really, not really a big deal.
I remember
Like,
there was like an issue of Spider-Man where he was like on a rampage because he couldn't feel anything. Like his whole body was numb. And then
yeah,
like the big climax to it was like he was in water and Spider-Man basically just took two power
stopped
lines
him.
and like electrocuted him.
Yeah,
And he like felt it and he thanked Spider-Man before he passed out. And I
yeah,
went, okay, is that gonna be a
yeah.
problem again in the future, or like was that enough?
I think that was it because again, like that never came up again. And this would happen with some Spider-Man villains, where they're like, because I think that happened to the Scorpion.
Couldn't get the suit
Um,
off. Yeah,
didn't take the suit off, but like we know that he can take the suit off. Has taken the suit off, so like that kind of thing just gets it. That's like such a minor plot point for some characters, so they just forget about it. They're like, well, what story benefit does that really have for us? What is that gonna? How are we gonna take that plot point and use that in a further storyline? The answer is we can't. It's
we're not going
completely
to.
point. So yeah,
Yeah, I
so we're
was
not.
gonna ask like so we might be getting off topic, but it felt like there was this period of time where Spider-Man villains were getting replaced by new versions of the characters. There
Yes,
was a different Rhino for a period of time, right?
yes, there
Didn't he
was.
kill the first Rhino?
No, he killed the first Rhino's wife.
Okay. So he killed the first Rhino's wife, and then he's like, I'm Rhino now.
Yes, and then I think the first Rhino killed him
Okay.
because of the aforementioned wife killing.
And then there was a second Electro that was a
Yeah,
girl.
yes,
And then
it was a
Electro came back, but he took his funny mask off and he just had like blue marks on his face that look like lightning bolts.
yep.
Why did they do that? They just realized the Electro mask was kind of goofy looking.
Well, when he came back, he took his mask off, but he didn't have the blue marks on him. And then I think he came back a different time, and he had no mask, but he had the blue, um, which is redundant. There was a lady scorpion.
Yeah, I remember I was gonna bring up Lady Scorpion.
There was a lady octopus, Doctor Octopus. There was a lady, someone else. Um, there's been a couple. Oh, there was a lady Raven, I think.
I'm listening. There is a lady.
Yeah, there's a lady.
There's a lady.
Just stop the podcast now. My knowledge of ladies. Um, but in terms of like other characters taking over, well, there's been, how many hobgoblins have there been? How many green goblins have there been? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, that kind of deal.
There's been
I'm
what?
not-
Has there been? There's been 3 Green Goblins. I want to say.
I think there's four or maybe five. I'm gonna say four. There was Norman Osborn, Harry Osborn, Art Hamilton, who was like the therapist to Harry Osborn.
Okay, I don't know that one.
And then there was another one who like was unnamed. They didn't name him, but he was around Harry or Norman Osborn as a kind of like, see, I'm not the Green Goblin. How could I be? that guy is the Green Goblin, but I don't think they ever revealed who that guy was. Um, so that's 4 so far. You know,
I just
obviously.
remember there was the one that the second one who wore the loincloth and had the laugh that could drive people crazy.
Oh, that was Phil Urich.
Phil Urich,
Urich.
yeah.
That's 5
So there's been 5 Green Goblins.
Green Goblins. Yeah.
They gotta protect their IP a little bit better.
Well, listen. At the moment, the Green Goblin isn't even the Green Goblin. He's like fucking.
He's Golden Goblin.
Yeah, some fucking garbage. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, I just read an issue of Iron Man that he was a guest star in, and it was
Great.
yeah, it was fine. Like I said, I feel like the Iron Man comic right now is like just mediocre. It's fine.
I
I,
don't
just,
think when you write comics, I don't think you want your audience to read and go, "Fine."
I think you're looking at modern day Marvel though.
Yeah,
I think
I
modern day
think
Marvel is stuck in a state of this is fine.
I was talking to somebody about that today. I think we talked about this on the podcast before, but it's a case of like Disney and Marvel being so big that like they don't care because they don't have to care.
No.
So if we look at Marvel as not even like the Disney bit, but we'll use the Marvel bit, and we had talked about Spider-Man, about how Spider-Man hasn't been good in like 20 years, but like particularly the last 5 or so years have been like just not interesting. There's no good storylines, no like nothing fun is happening. All this weird shit's going on. And it's because Spider-Man is still Marvel's most popular character.
He's got a
So
new movie coming out
Spider-Man
and everything.
Spider-Man will sell issues so long as Spider-Man issues continue to be made. Therefore, it doesn't really matter if the stories are good or not. They just have to be there. They just have to be written and then illustrated, and then
Yeah.
people will buy Spider-Man comics. Spider-Man is too big to fail. It's the most popular IP. It will just go on forever and ever and ever. Therefore, they don't have to try. And because if they put a lot of time and effort into making a great Spider-Man comic, or if they just half-ass it and put out any old shit, the result is exactly the same, which is people will buy Spider-Man comics.
Yeah.
Then you're like, well, why bother putting time and effort and energy and money into something like that when you don't have to? And I feel like that's been their MO. And it seems like it's Disney's MO as well. Because if you look at Disney, Disney used to be like the figurehead, the linchpin, the go-to for Western animation.
Mm-hmm.
It was the absolute like the best of Western animation. And it got so big and so popular on that reputation that at some point it just was like, well, we don't have to do it anymore. Like, when was the last really good animated Disney film? You don't know. You have to think about it. But it used to be they would do one every year or two. They go, that's the best one, or this is the best one. Look how great this one is. Look how many they had in the 80s and the 90s. It was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Well, but they don't have them anymore because they don't need to.
No.
Because it's not
Well, and
about
every time they do something, it's like I mean, everything they've been putting out has been met with really just mediocre results.
they don't have to do it. They know what's gonna sell because it's Disney. Or like if you look at how they remade a bunch of live action shit, like Aladdin or
Yeah, live action Moana is coming out soon.
right,
Moana's
who
maybe 10 years old.
who asks for that or who cares? The answer is nobody. But that doesn't matter because Moana was really popular. It's an IP. So if you put out a live action Moana film, loads of people are gonna go see it. It doesn't matter if it sucks. It's going to suck. Doesn't matter. People are gonna go see it and they're gonna make loads of money off a film they've already made. They've already made Moana, so you already know it's popular. So you know people are gonna like it because it's the same. Like the Aladdin
I'm
one is it's not as good as the original Aladdin, but it's the same story, same characters. It's just not as good, but it doesn't matter because it's not as time consuming as animating. So here we go, and people will go watch it because they like the old Aladdin.
yeah, I
You know,
feel like I feel like they've been getting so many like diminishing returns on. I remember like the Snow White one was met with such bad reviews and stuff.
but that doesn't matter.
No, that doesn't matter to them. I mean, right now, like the big push for Marvel is this Marvel Midnight universe thing they're starting in the fall, I want to say. And it's like, oh, it's horror based. And a lot of people are like, oh, this is just them kind of responding to DC's Absolute Universe, which the
Yeah.
Absolute Universe was in itself a response to the Ultimate Universe.
Right. Which they got
So,
rid of.
yeah, which they got rid of. And I've seen so many takes on that. Like, was it a good idea for them to end this new Ultimate Universe? With some people going, yes, it was a great idea because we've seen what happens when we let stuff drag on too long. But then you also are like, no, it was a bad idea because people were genuinely very invested in a lot of the stuff happening. Like,
Mhm.
that Ultimate Spider Man was getting so many really great reviews.
Yeah.
And, yeah, so, I mean, I don't know. It's just weird. It's just Marvel being Marvel. But I guess like going back to the whole again our topic of animal based characters.
Yeah.
Um, what are your feelings on characters that have animals as part of their name but not part of their appearance? Like the penguin is a short, squat little guy, but he doesn't actually look like a penguin.
He doesn't really have any penguin traits. He's
No,
not really a penguin. He
no,
just has
no. Even at his worst, he's just somewhat deformed.
yeah. Penguins don't really have like is his nose supposed to be a beak? Because that's not
Yeah.
really like
Well, and then so he had a. This was a period of time in the comics as well, where his character was temporarily replaced by his son, who went by the name of Emperor Penguin, and he was like tall and handsome and had like kind of the Ilya Dragunov hair, to use a wrestling reference. I
and
think he was.
everybody was
I think he was introduced as a potential like love angle character for Batgirl. Yeah, yeah.
mm,
But anyway, yeah. So there was Emperor Penguin for a while.
uh-huh.
And then I think he got killed off, and with Penguin resuming his proper spot.
Yeah, we'll just gotta kill all the penguins.
That was a
Kill 'em
big
all.
oh boy, that was a big nothing burger of a story as well. Like
Mm,
so when Chip Zdarsky came over to DC and he was writing Batman, his big storyline that he did was called Failsafe, where basically like you know how Batman always has a contingency plan for all of the other heroes and villains. Well, does
yeah.
Batman have a contingency plan for Batman? And that was
Mm,
revealed to be this thing called failsafe, where basically like Grant Morrison introduced the idea that Batman had undergone training to slip into a psychotic state, was referred to as the Batman of Zur and Ra,
yeah.
which was a take from the Silver Age. Zur and Ra was a planet that Batman and Robin visited and met like this extraterrestrial version of Batman of that planet, and it was
Mhm,
symbolic of like the red chest piece, the yellow arms, the purple cape, and stuff. So in the proper continuity, Grant being Grant brought it back as a like a mental state that Bruce could slip into that was supposed to make him impervious to like uh psychokinetic or telepathic manipulation.
mhm,
So Bruce would go into this meditative state, let Zur out, and Zur built the contingency plan, which was basically this robot that knew how Batman thought. So like no matter what Batman did, Failsafe had a plan for it. And it was to kick off the moment that the news broke that Batman was directly responsible for the death of someone. So in the comics, Penguin faked his death to A, get back at Batman, and B, slip away to Metropolis for a while. And they even did
mhm.
like a little mini series of Penguin in Metropolis running a flower shop, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, yeah.
But unbeknownst to Penguin and everyone else, including Batman, it activated failsafe. So all of a sudden, Batman's getting pursued by this robot that like is trying to kill him.
Right.
Um, that was like a big long thing that a lot of people felt like wasted a lot of time and did not earn Chip Zdarsky any love at DC. That like when
Mhm.
it was announced that he was coming off of the book, a lot of people were not broken up about it.
That's a shame.
Yeah,
It's not what you want.
considering he's like DC like Marvel's big guy right now,
Yeah.
writing Batman or writing Captain America and now writing the Avengers.
Yeah. What's his name? New Captain America.
Yep, David Colton,
David Colton, classic character.
much like Failsafe.
Mm-hmm. Yet.
That reminds me of when James Tynion the Fourth was the big writer for Batman for a very brief period of time. before he realized that he actually just wanted to focus on doing independent horror comics and just quit. But he made
Oh.
this big effort to introduce all of these new characters because he was like a student of Scott Snyder's. And Scott Snyder was like really big on introducing characters as well. So he introduced Mr. Bloom, he introduced the Court of Owls, he introduced the Bluebird character, Harper Row.
Mm-hmm.
So James Tynion the Fourth introduced um, Ghost Whisperer, Clown Killer,
Mm-hmm.
Miracle Molly,
Mm-hmm.
and Punchline. With
Yeah.
Punchline being the new Harley Quinn character. And he introduced all these characters, and then no one has proceeded to do a goddamn thing with any of them.
Because they're impossible to do anything with.
Yeah, I mean they were not. I mean like they were not. Ghost Whisperer was a character that was like, oh, see, he's someone who's secretly from Bruce's past. He trained with all the same people that Bruce Wayne did, and they were rivals. But it's like I don't fucking care.
Oh,
And Clown
why?
Killer was like a kid whose parents were killed by the Joker, so he had a vendetta against all clowns.
I can relate.
Miracle Molly was supposed to be this like shade of gray hacker character. And then again, Punchline was supposed to be this modern take on Harley Quinn.
And they were just like, well, we already have that. It's called Harley Quinn.
Yeah, it just none of it was, whatever.
Yeah, we don't need this. No
It
need
kind of
for
reminds
this.
me a little bit where we just did the episode that we just recorded about romantic relationships came up,
Yeah.
and we were talking about how like some writers will just introduce a new love interest, and then like will be all in on that character, and then the second they leave the book, the next writer's like, and you're gone.
Yep.
That kind of
Yeah.
felt like that's what happened is when James Tynion the Fourth announced he was leaving DC. DC was like, "All right, we're gonna put Ghost Whisperer and Clown Killer as the main characters of Batman Inc." And when that book fails, no one can say that we didn't give it a shot. What about
Which it will.
Punchline and Miracle Molly? Who?
Yeah. Miracle Molly, God bless her. Not the best name.
Not a very
Not,
interesting character either.
no. That's hard to make a character like that. Sign it just.
Oh,
Miracle
she's a
Molly.
hacker.
Yeah. Big whoop. Good stuff. You know. But if she was some sort of crocodile creature, that would be fun to draw, and people will be invested in it. That's all I'm saying. Basically,
Yes,
what I'm saying is we need more crocodile characters
we need more crocodile characters.
in comics because we don't have a whole. It's like what we named like 3. I'm like, that's it. That's all we got. Like, why can't we have cool crocodile characters? You know what I mean? They're fun to draw. They sound vicious and angry. Like, then we have a cool croc. Cool croc. It's Killer Croc. Let's have Cool Croc. He has a skateboard and sunglasses and a hat, but he wears the hat backwards.
Oh, there you
Baseball hat.
go.
Yeah, and he has like a Blink 182 t-shirt.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Now what era of Blink-182? Is it from the like take off your pants and jacket era, or is it like more modern Blink-182? Like what are we thinking?
The
Huh?
shit one.
But
Which I would say is all of Blink 182, but I know a lot of people would disagree with me. But
I have only really like gone back and re-listened to one Blink-182 album, and it was the one before Travis Barker joined the band.
oof.
Dude Ranch, I think is like a good album still. I think you could like if you accept it for just like kind of the era pop punk, not a bad little album.
I was never a big fan of pop punk, and then I heard Blink 182. I'm like, well, I'm not a fan of this at all.
You weren't a fan of
This is-
Green Day?
Oh no,
Oh, that's surprising here.
no, never a big fan of Green Day. Um, the only pop punk band I kind of like, The Offspring, and even then, I'm like, are they pop punk? I don't know.
I am not a fan of The Offspring, so there you go. They're
Like,
like from
well,
that era of like 90s punk music that I think The Offspring have like two good songs and I could just do away with the rest of them.
what are the 2 good songs?
Um Come Out and Play obviously and Self-Esteem. I don't think there's anything else worth a damn.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Don't think there's
You
anything else worth a damn.
you would not consider yourself to be pretty fly.
No, in fact, that was kind of the era I disliked them the most was the 2000s era because they were on like TRL with that album, that song, and then like They had wasn't they had a song of like get a job or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have you ever played Crazy Taxi?
Yes, that's another reason why I don't like Offspring.
Because you don't like Crazy Taxi, or because you heard it too much by
Because I
playing
heard too
Crazy
much
Taxi?
of it from playing Crazy Taxi.
First of all, Crazy Taxi, great game.
Crazy Taxi.
Game. The whole soundtrack was The Offspring and Bad Religion, and that was it. I don't know why. We got two bands. That's all we need. But fuck, that was a great game. The fuck we talking about? Oh, what was he called? Cool Croc? Is that what we called him?
Cool Croc? Our
He
new
has one
character?
gold. He has one gold tooth.
Yeah, one gold tooth.
Yeah,
It's a big pointy one too.
yeah, one of the big ones. Yeah, it's bigger than the other ones. To show off. It's also like uncomfortable for him to close his mouth because his one big tooth just like sticks out all the time. Um, what else is cool?
He said, well, did we mention he has to have a skateboard?
He has a skateboard. Yeah,
He
yeah,
has a
yeah.
skateboard. He has a
Yeah.
backwards hat. He's got a leather jacket. He's got a Blink
Has
182 t-shirt on.
ripped
Now,
jeans.
ripped jeans. Now, are we going ripped jeans or are we going like the full like 2000s pop punk thing and he's got like those really long like Dickies shorts and tube socks?
No, I mean like regular jeans, but like the knees are cut out. You know what I mean? Not the big baggy jeans that were like early 2000s. I just mean regular jeans, but like the knees. Because well, he did seem like a kind of prick that would be wearing the baggy jeans, so maybe. I'm describing Cool Croc for my own benefit because this is what the thumbnail will be.
Yeah, so we're gonna draw a Cool Croc. This has become like the one of the weirder Relax Fit episodes, I think.
Why? What's weird about any of this?
Well, I mean, we've just kind of been all over the place, but we keep coming back to the crocodile, which I appreciate. It's the
Is
touch
this weird?
space.
Is this weirder than us talking about Katy Perry? I don't think so.
No, so is now what kind of skateboarder is he? Is he like a vert skateboarder or is he like a street skateboarder?
How much skateboard vernacular do you know, Corey? Or is this going to be the end of it?
I mean, I played my fair share of Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
Okay. I would say he is a street skater because he can't be bothered to build his own half pipe. I think
Okay,
he
out of
just goes in.
necessity, he like skateboards in like church parking lots.
Yes, he goes into a car park and just like tries to jump off the curb.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yep, yep, yep. Yeah, but he's cool. He's cool croc. I like Cool Croc. I think we could put him on t-shirts.
maybe he would definitely be right up there with Baby Juggernaut.
Yeah, a new mascot for the show. We needed a new one.
Yeah, we'll tell John all about it next episode.
Well, he'll listen to this, I would assume.
Well, we'll see him before he listens to this, I think.
Like, what do you guys talk about? Like, you have to check it out. Otherwise, the t-shirt you're about to see won't make any sense.
There you go. So, John is not here to do his movie recap, but if you're interested in seeing if John has watched anything while he has been on his way to or from the World Cup, you can definitely check out the link below for his letterbox, which is letterbox.com/BigJohnBowski. Dylan, what do you got up to during the week?
I skateboard with my friend Cool Croc. We go to the church car park and we smoke a lot of really cheap weed because
Oh,
we're cool.
a lot of
And it
stems.
let me tell you, it is cheap. But when I'm not hanging out with Cool Croc, getting up to all sorts of wacky adventures, which you'll be able to read about in our multi-page comic that will be available very soon via our Patreon. Um, you can listen to me. I do a radio show every Monday night, 9 o'clock to 11 o'clock on bouncedigitalradio.co.uk. Available down there somewhere. Um, I draw stuff sometimes on Twitch. I haven't for a while, but I do it sometimes on Twitch. And I take those drawings and make them into animations that are available on YouTube at Team Crows NI and TikTok at Team Crow Studios. And obviously there will be a Cool Croc animation slash comic book in the works.
There you go.
So for that.
There you go. As for me, I have the other show that we do here on the YouTube channel, which is called New Number Ones, where I get a new #1 from a smaller publisher, review it, and let you know whether or not I think it is a good opportunity for you to hop onto a new series.
Yeah.
I also have my spoken word podcast, Large Old Cup, which is sort of a philosophical kind of thing. I don't really know. It's always changing and evolving, but it is what it is. The link for that is also in the description as well. But
Mm-hmm.
until next time, we'll see you guys later. Goodbye.
Bye.